The Villisca Axe Murder House, located in Villisca, Iowa, is a notorious and chilling tourist attraction that has captivated the interest of ghost hunters, true crime enthusiasts, and horror lovers for decades. This historic home gained notoriety due to the gruesome, unsolved murders that occurred within its walls in 1912. On that fateful night, 6 children and 2 adults met a horrifying end, their skulls crushed by the relentless blows of an axe wielded by an unknown assailant. The mystery of their deaths still haunts the house and the town to this day. In 1994, the Villisca Axe Murder House was purchased and meticulously restored to its 1912 condition. The house's transformation into a tourist destination aimed to preserve the eerie and haunting atmosphere that surrounds it. Visitors are now able to step back in time and experience the place as it appeared during that tragic night over a century ago. However, what makes the Villisca Axe Murder House particularly intriguing is that it is not just a historical site but a hub for paranormal enthusiasts and ghost hunters. For those willing to test their courage, they can spend a night in this infamous house for the price of $428. The overnight stays are a unique opportunity to immerse oneself in the mystery and darkness that surrounds the property. Many visitors have reported experiencing strange and unexplained paranormal phenomena, further fueling the legend of the house. Reports of ghostly apparitions, such as visions of a man wielding an axe wandering the halls, or the faint, eerie screams of children, have been documented by numerous visitors. These encounters contribute to the enduring fascination with the house and its terrifying past. However, in November 2014, the Villisca Axe Murder House took a disturbing and unexpected turn when a visitor, Robert Stephen Larson Jr. of Rhinelander, Wisconsin, was found with a self-inflicted stab wound to his chest during a recreational paranormal visit. His injury occurred at around 12:45 a.m., coincidentally mirroring the time when the 1912 axe murders within the house began. Larson was swiftly transported to a hospital for medical attention and eventually to Creighton University Medical Center in Omaha. The incident was unsettling for both the owners and those interested in the house's history, as it raised questions about the psychological impact of the location and the dark energy that still lingers within its walls. Despite this alarming incident, the Villisca Axe Murder House remains open for tours and overnight stays. The owner, Martha Lynn, has expressed her desire to maintain the historical and cultural significance of the house while being cautious about the type of publicity it generates. The house continues to draw curious visitors who are both fascinated and terrified by the mystery and horror that surrounds this iconic site. In conclusion, the Villisca Axe Murder House stands as a grim and enigmatic piece of American history, offering an eerie and unsettling experience for those who dare to explore its haunted halls. The chilling events of 1912 and the unexplained phenomena that continue to occur have solidified its place in the annals of true crime and paranormal lore, making it a destination of morbid fascination and fear for curious travelers and horror enthusiasts. The case of Danielle Harkins and the disturbing events in St. Petersburg, Florida, in June 2012 shed light on a deeply unsettling and bewildering situation involving a schoolteacher, allegations of demonic rituals, and the abuse of 7 former students. This incident, often sensationalized as Florida devil worshipping, captivated public attention and raised numerous questions about the motivations behind these horrifying actions. Danielle Harkins, a 35-year-old schoolteacher in the St. Petersburg area, underwent a stark and concerning transformation in the months leading up to her arrest. Friends and acquaintances noticed her increasingly bizarre behavior, which included a disturbing fascination with demonic rituals. This shift in her demeanor set the stage for a series of shocking events that would eventually result in her arrest. The incident in question occurred during a gathering near the St. Petersburg Pier, where Harkins was joined by a group of 7 children. It was during this gathering that Harkins allegedly made alarming statements, telling the children that they needed to rid their bodies of demons. Her instructions were deeply unsettling. She suggested that they cut their skin to release the supposed evil spirits within. Following this, she insisted that they burn the wounds to prevent the spirits from returning. One specific incident during this ritual further accentuated the horror of the situation. When Harkins attempted to use a lighter on one of the teens, the wind extinguished the flame. This prompted her to resort to even more extreme measures, as she doused the teen's hand in perfume before setting it on fire. As a result of this act, the boy suffered second-degree burns, underscoring the severity of the abuse inflicted upon these children. Another teen was subjected to a similarly harrowing experience, as he was cut on the neck with a broken bottle. Harkins then used a flame to heat a small key, which she used to cauterize the wound, causing further physical and emotional distress. The police became involved in the case because a friend of one of the students who participated in this disturbing ritual raised the alarm. Notably, none of the students themselves initially informed their parents about the event, and they remained reticent following Harkins' arrest for aggravated battery and child abuse. One of the most baffling aspects of this case is that Danielle Harkins never provided a clear explanation for her actions. In an interview with investigators, she did not articulate the specific religious or spiritual beliefs that might have motivated her to engage in such drastic and harmful measures. This lack of clarity only added to the sense of mystique and bewilderment surrounding the case. The Florida devil worshipping case involving Danielle Harkins remains a deeply disturbing and perplexing incident. The bizarre nature of the alleged demonic rituals, the abuse of children, and the absence of a clear motive or belief system behind Harkins' actions all combine to create a chilling narrative that continues to intrigue and disturb those who encounter it. Before we continue, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. The Phone Stalker, as documented by ABC News in 2007, is a chilling and perplexing case involving a series of cell phone calls to several families, marked by terrifyingly specific death threats and an alarming invasion of privacy. The unidentified caller or callers behind these incidents seem to possess an eerie level of knowledge about the families they targeted, including their activities, clothing, and even private conversations. The victims in this case reported receiving phone calls that struck terror into their lives, with threats to harm their children, pets, and even grandparents. What made these threats particularly disturbing was the callers' uncanny ability to describe in detail what the families were doing and what they were wearing at that very moment. These threats were often delivered at all hours of the night, adding to the family's distress. The phone stalker's harassment went beyond verbal threats. Voicemails left by the caller contained recordings of the victim's private conversations, including one with a local police detective. This level of intrusion into the victims' personal lives compounded their feelings of vulnerability and invasion of privacy. The most alarming aspect of this case was the apparent omniscience of the phone stalker. The families claimed that the caller seemed to know their every move and action, from their physical location to their daily activities. It was as though the stalker was observing them closely and had the ability to describe their surroundings and actions with uncanny accuracy. In the case of the Kuykendall family, the harassment persisted for months, with the caller making threats of slitting their throats in a scratchy voice. Despite efforts by the Faircrest, Washington, police to track down the perpetrator, they encountered an unsettling twist. The calls were traced back to the Kuykendall's own phones, even when the devices were turned off, leaving both the victims and the authorities baffled. To make matters worse, the families involved in this case believed that the phone stalker was not just making threats but was using their cell phones to spy on them. The level of surveillance described was highly disconcerting, as it appeared that the hackers had intimate knowledge of the victims' lives, including their physical locations and actions. The families claimed that the callers had recorded private conversations, and this extended to a meeting with a local detective, suggesting a high level of technical sophistication on the part of the stalker. The phone stalker case, as documented by ABC News, remains a perplexing and deeply unsettling example of technological harassment and invasion of privacy. The inexplicable knowledge possessed by the caller and their ability to evade detection added to the aura of mystery surrounding this disturbing incident. The Watcher is a mysterious and disturbing figure associated with a notorious case that unfolded in a $1.3 million dream home in New Jersey. The case, reported by CBS News, revolved around a family who moved into their new residence only to find themselves the target of a relentless campaign of creepy death threats, allegedly from this enigmatic individual. The homeowners began receiving a series of unsettling letters from the Watcher shortly after moving into their new residence. The ominous correspondence claimed that the house had been under the mysterious person's observation for generations, with the Watcher asserting that they had been tasked with watching and waiting for its second coming. This cryptic language suggested a deep and long-standing interest in the property. The family, which included several children, found the content of the letters to be increasingly distressing. The Watcher inquired about the new occupants, asking, "Have they found out what's in the walls yet?" This eerie question heightened the sense of dread and unease, insinuating that there were hidden secrets within the house known to the anonymous sender. Another letter contained an even more unsettling revelation: "I am pleased to know your names now, and the name of the young blood you have brought to me." This chilling statement implied that the family's children were being closely watched, adding to the horrifying nature of the threats. Faced with this campaign of harassment and feeling unsafe in their own home, the family had no choice but to flee from the property. The severity of the situation prompted them to take legal action. They filed a lawsuit against the previous owners, suggesting that they had failed to disclose important information about the Watcher, or the unsettling history associated with the house.